Hey everybody, it's Yana here. Today I'm going to talk about L-tyrosine and what it can do for you to improve your mood and your stress levels. And if you're feeling down on some days, maybe L-tyrosine is right for you. First of all, I'm going to let you know that I am not an ambassador for any brand. This is just an honest review that I'm making for everybody that's curious about supplementing with this amino acid. And I'm going to share a story of how I discovered this and why I think it's a really very effective way to cure a lot of like if you're having depression or if you're feeling down some days. So L-tyrosine, if you're wondering what that is actually an amino acid that builds proteins in the body and acts as a messenger. It is known to actually treat ADHD and ADD because it actually increases your attention level and mental alertness. For some, they consider this as a nootropic, so a brain enhancer. If you take a lot, nothing really bad happens to you. The body just gets rid of it. And how I recommend take this is that you take it on an empty stomach, because if you take L-tyrosine with other amino acids, it tends to compete with each other, so it prevents absorption, proper absorption. And it actually helps with motivation. And you're probably wondering, oh, really, motivation? It actually does. So it's the reward system in the brain that it actually helps treat. So on days you're feeling really lazy, that means you're low in dopamine. And L-tyrosine actually makes dopamine, which is the drive, the hormone that gives you that drive, that motivation to go get what you want and to have that motivation into getting pumped, like go to the gym, because why do we go to the gym? Because we want to see results and we're after that goal, that goal setting. People with low dopamine, they don't have any drive, and sometimes it's not really who they are. It's just because their brain, their neurotransmitters in the brain are not functioning properly. So this is what it helps with, pretty much. So if you are lazy sometimes and if you don't have that drive that you used to, you may have a dopamine depression. Now, dopamine depression, there's two kinds of depression, guys. There is the dopamine depression, which is like low motivation, laziness, you just don't want to do anything, sleep in all day. And then there's serotonin depression. Now, some people have both mixed together, but serotonin depression it's like always being sad, you're emotional, you're just really sad. Like a lot of people are suicidal on serotonin depression. Now, when you're too high in dopamine, sometimes your serotonin will rise too, because the body will always know how to balance itself out. So it's kind of like if your body's too acidic, then your body will start drawing calcium from your bones to balance itself out, to maintain homeostasis in the blood. So dopamine depression and serotonin depression are two different things. So usually with people with ADHD and ADD, with focus problems, with attention span, lack of attention, hyperactivity, they're usually prescribed a drug called Dexedrine, Adderall, Ritalin, and the list goes on and on, all the ADHD medicines. And what do they all have in common? They all raise dopamine levels in the brain. Now it's good at short term, but I don't recommend doing it forever because there's always a cost to something. You're pretty much borrowing energy and attention from the future. So you're depleting all your dopamine. You're borrowing happy moods from the future that you don't actually have, but the body is actually forcing it to produce the happy hormone and the drive, and that's what the ADHD and ADD medications do. L-tyrosine can actually help you aid your neurotransmitters. It will it will treat it so that you can actually start producing natural, normal levels of dopamine again. Okay, so a lot of people, when they're on these type of medications, they supplement with the L-tyrosine or other amino acids afterwards, just to kind of replenish their neurotransmitters so you don't go out of fuel. And it sucks when you go out of fuel. You get tired, you just don't want to do anything. And that's just how it is. Kind of like if you're drinking too much alcohol, you pay for it after with a hangover, like a deadly hangover at times. So, so when you take this product, please remember to take it on an empty stomach, without any other. Don't take it food because it'll prevent proper absorption. And for some people even say that it's not as bioavailable if you take it by itself. Everyone's bioconstitution is completely different. Everybody's nourishment level is different, depends on your diet. If your tyrosine is actually found in a lot of foods, okay, like animal proteins. It's even found in corn, derived from corn also. And so to make it more, for some people, to make it more bioavailable, to make it cross the blood-brain barrier, I actually supplement with B12, a very high quality B12. Will carry it through the blood-brain barrier, so it's more bioavailable, okay? Now everybody, then again, everyone's constitution is completely different and their nourishment levels. So you may even have some tyrosine in your diet, okay? Everybody's depression level is different. The how much dopamine you produce in the body, in the brain, is completely different than someone else. So in order to be more in tune with your body, like some people are very in tune with their body. Some people are not because they don't feel anything, or like, you know yourself the most. So I guess consult with your doctor. And even sometimes doctors, they don't even know. They're just guessing sometimes. But do consult with a doctor and find out if tyrosine is good for you and how much you should take, because everybody's height and weight is different. Some people might be smaller, but they might need a higher dose just because they produce less dopamine in the brain, okay? I've heard that some people have been taking like too less of a dose for so many years, and that they actually discovered that they found more of a benefit from taking a higher dose. Now, and these people are not the same size and height as me. Some people are like taller, but they take less, do you know what I mean? So stay in tune with your body, and you know your body the best. And I'm just here to give you a really honest opinion and of how it worked for me. I used to take 5-HTP with it, and I found that after taking 5-HTP with tyrosine, it made that 5-HTP very potent, because I think what happened was I was taking it regularly. I was taking tyrosine regularly, and then it raised my serotonin naturally. So when I took 5-HTP, it actually made it, a little bit of the 5-HTP made a huge difference. It was just really strong. So be careful what you mix it with. And it actually helps for some people, if they are addicted to coffee. Coffee, when you're drinking a lot of coffee for a long time, like for years of your life, what happens is you're going to end up being very dependent on coffee. Caffeine is a drug, okay? Caffeine is a stimulant. And then again, you're pretty much borrowing energy from the future, because it's energy that you don't have at the moment, but you're drinking the coffee to borrow energy from the future. And what happens that when you're out of that energy, you crash so hard. You get chronic fatigue because your body cannot produce that energy. You're depleting your adrenal glands. So that's what makes you really, really tired. So same with stress, coffee stresses you out because it depletes your adrenal glands. Tyrosine will help you nourish your neurotransmitters again. So if you're drinking a lot of coffee for years of your life, or you can't get off coffee, supplement with this. At least try it out, because it actually helped me. And till this day, I don't really drink that much coffee anymore. I drink less because I don't feel the need for it, because I have the energy from this amino acid. And if you take it for, a week or so, you can feel the difference. But I don't recommend taking it forever because your body will eventually regulate itself. So if you're a coffee drinker, chances are you're probably low in dopamine because that's what coffee does. Caffeine stimulates the neurotransmitters to pump out lots of dopamine, and that's what makes you feel amazing. Gives you that drive in the morning, that reward, like, okay, I'm gonna go to work today. I'm pumped to go to the gym. People with low dopamine, they don't see the point in going to do anything. They might realize that they have to, but then they can't push themselves to get things done because their dopamine is low. Not for everybody, but that's usually why. Okay? That's usually why people don't have that drive anymore. It could be from other factors such as, a cause that's making them feel that way. But either way, if you wake up in the morning and you're not depressed, at least you don't think you're depressed. You don't have a cause for your depression, but you just are so damn unmotivated. Chances are you might be low in dopamine, guys. But yeah, you don't have to agree with anything I'm saying. This is just like a very honest review on why I think this works. And but yeah, I hope you liked it. And yeah, try it out.